Well, howdy there, boys. How you doing? Welcome back to another video. If you're unfamiliar with who I am, or this is your first time seeing me, my name's Tyler. I go by Zany online. Welcome to the channel, and the video has not really even started yet, but just go ahead and hit the subscribe button and the like button. You'll thank me for it later. Maybe. Come on now. Come on. It's just one button click. You can do it. I believe. But thank everybody for the support. Again, I've been on a little rampage thanking everybody for the support the channel's getting. It's absolutely incredible. And I also am very, very, very thankful that this community is filled with awesome people who get along great, and all in all, it's just a joy to talk to. And if you're interested in finding some like-minded people, some cool people to talk with, I do have my Discord link down in the description below, and I'd recommend you pop over there. We're all good people over there. It's a great community. Now, this is going to be a more personal video, just me talking about my plans for the future, just because I feel like they might be interesting to some of you, and also it just sort of gives you an outline of like what the channel might be like a few years from now. So some of you might know, because I've talked about it with, I mean, pretty much everybody who hangs out in Discord has heard me talk about it from time to time. My goal for the next few years is I'm looking at land, and technically already bought a piece of land, but then sold it already, and because I want to get bigger land. But anyway, I'm looking at land in New Mexico, and in the middle of the desert, because I want to go completely off grid, and for multiple different reasons, but mainly is just the freedom and the self-reliance part. I really like that. So I mean, I already have some of the stuff that I'm going to need out there. Like, I've already got the basic beginning parts of a solar setup already ready to go. I mean, it's not like hooked up or anything, but I'm stashing up parts and different things that I'm going to need to go completely off grid. So essentially what I'm going to be doing, I'm still playing around with different ideas for like my actual like building technique, but most likely it's going to be a underground house. So essentially like a very bootlegged bunker, essentially, but not for the purpose of surviving a nuclear fallout or some crazy shit like that. It's just for practical purposes, like heating and cooling underground is not nearly a problem. It's well, I mean, it's like going into your basement. It's pretty level temperature, and also to it saves on building costs quite a bit. Now the house will actually be not like completely submerged in ground. It'll actually be a little bit dipped down in the ground and then have a large dirt mass over it. So it's essentially buried, not really underground fully. But anyway, yeah, I want to go out there and be self-reliant. Like I'll have a what's called a rain roof, but it's essentially just a roof for collecting water. I'll have my goal is to have at least 300 gallons of water storage. I'll most likely end up either just getting one 300-gallon tank or getting two 150-gallon tanks. Depends on which one's cheaper at the time. Right now, it's actually cheaper to go with two 150-gallon tanks, but who knows? Maybe in the next couple of years or whenever I get it, it'll be cheaper then. But yeah, that's actually what I want to do. And those of you might be asking, why would you move into the desert and go off grid? Again, I've said self-reliance and stuff, but it's primarily a thing of right now. I have to bring in money to be able to eat, pay bills, and do all that stuff. Um, Out there off grid, I don't have to pay, like, there's no real monthly cost for stuff. A greenhouse is part of the design for the house. So there's a greenhouse at the front of the house. Um, and so I'll be producing a lot of my food. Um, I know some people are like, a lot of people ask me questions about like, well, like what about this or that, and I've been planning this for years. I've always been interested in alternative style living, stuff that cuts down on cost and just makes you more, free from money problems. And I, I I've done a lot of research. So like for toilet paper and stuff, there's two different types of plants that I'll be growing. I'm gonna try growing one or two banana trees. There's a backup plant. I think it's called mullein, but it's like a weed that grows out here. It's super easy to grow, and its leaves are like really thick and soft. And so actually, it's been used as toilet paper for a long time. And that's like one thing that you might think of as an expense that like well, you'll have to go and get toilet paper. Well, no, I will actually grow my own, which sounds nuts, but yeah. Toilet stuff will be compost. Um, Essentially, the the way in which I live my life, the lifestyle is going to change drastically. And the whole point of me going out here is so that I don't really have monthly bills. I don't really have to worry about money. I, from the properties that I'm looking at, it's a 45-minute drive into the city. And there I'll be able to get internet and stock up on the odds and ends that I can't grow myself. Another thing is I'll have chickens out there. I love chickens. They're the easiest things to raise and keep a hold of, and they're, I mean, come on, it's eggs. Like, you want eggs. Like, we all want eggs, and I mean, chicken ain't bad either. So they make a lot of sense as animals to raise, especially for food and sustenance. They're amazing because they also don't take up a ton of space to be able to raise chickens. But I honestly didn't like plan this out super well. I didn't like plan out a structure to the video or anything like that. I just started talking. So yeah, like that's sort of my plan. My plan is to go out there. I won't have internet or anything out there. Again, the whole point of me going out here is so that I have very, very little in yearly expenses. So essentially, about every week, I'm going to get rid of my car going out there too, because I don't want to have car insurance and car maintenance costs. And then when it's out in the freaking desert, the car's lifespan, if not very, very well taken care of, it's just going to be greatly diminished. It's a high expense that I don't necessarily need because I'm not going to be driving everywhere at all. So I'll just have a bicycle and make a day out of going into town. So like once a week, hop on my bicycle early in the morning, probably head out about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and bicycle about 2 hours, 3 hours. Luckily, there are stops in between. Like I could stop at different places, take a break. Like there's actually, I believe, a high school like almost dead in between the properties that I'm looking at and the actual city itself. So should be able to pull off in the high school, take a break underneath some like roof or something like that if I need to take a little bit breather before I go the rest of the way. And same for coming back. But once a week, go into town, pick up like spices, just different stuff that I can't or aren't growing and I would like for one example, coffee. I won't be growing coffee or some shit. I'll just pick up coffee here and there. And once I go in there that one day a week, that'll be when I upload videos. Because again, lifestyle change, so I won't be able to really live stream unless I'm able to get internet for like, if I'm able to get internet for like 20 or 30 bucks a month, at that point, yeah, there's no reason not to. That's cheap enough. But the again, I most likely won't have it, so I won't be able to stream or anything, but I will be able to continue making videos and interacting with you guys. It'll just be I'll have to plan it out and let you guys know when I'm going to be in town, like which day I go into town, um, hook up, talk with all of you guys, post videos, schedule them out for the next week, and yeah, I mean it'll just be very different. And I do want to go ahead and say I'm not I'm not doing this thinking that it's going to make life 10 times better or easier. Um, Building a house in the desert is not easy. It's a lot of work, and it's the desert, so it's hot as shit. So duh. But like really for me, the whole goal of going out there is where I I'm really in control of what I need to get done. I for me in a day, it's not, oh, I need to go to a job, or I need, or having the stress of like possibly losing my job and that really messing me up, like anything like that. That's not really the things I have to worry about. Like in the morning, I just have to go get the eggs from the chickens, make sure they got food, water, uh, keep up with my garden. And I mean, really, in all honesty, gardening, especially in a greenhouse, if you've ever done that before, it's really not time consuming labor. It's just, just keeping up with it, making sure you're taking care of stuff properly. Um, and then besides that, like I'm a super loner. Like I don't actually like need a lot of human interaction. I could go and have gone long periods of time without really talking to anyone at all. And I really do like the solitude. And so I'm really looking forward to the opportunity here in a few years where it's essentially like, I know for a lot of people, like COVID and having to stay inside has been absolutely horrible. And even though I can't relate to it, I will go ahead and say I know it's awful, and I I I'm sorry that you don't enjoy it and it's rough. But for me personally, COVID has been um, actually really enjoyable because I don't. Well, I mean, it's pretty much over now, the restrictions and everything. But when it was really tough to go out and do things, I was really happy with it. I really am fine with staying inside, watching movies, playing video games, relaxing. And so I'm building up a huge storage of movies, TV shows, music, and video games. So when I go out there, I'll be able to really just focus on playing all of the games and watching all of the movies and the TV shows that I just haven't had time for or haven't gotten into yet. Um, and I will go ahead and say, because I know I'm going to get comments on this, worrying about, well, how are you going to get this done? Like, what if something happens to you? In almost all of the like off-grid communities, they're pretty tight knit, and you communicate with each other. So if you're having a problem, someone else can get you to a hospital or whatever. It's not like I'm literally in the middle of nowhere by myself and like no other soul for like 100 miles. It's not that crazy. I don't know. I know I'll get a ton of questions asking me like if you have you thought about this? What about this? I really have thought about it, and there's a reason why it won't be happening for at least 3 years. Um, for one, when I go out there, I have to have, not only do I have to like buy stuff, like I need to get a new bike. It needs to be a mountain bike, and then I've got to get spare parts for the entire mountain bike. I need to have at least one extra spare wheel, one extra chain, an extra gear set. I need to have all of that stuff. I need to have two of essentially everything. For the computer, I need to have, not only do I need to have like large like NAS drives, but I need to have a backup, at least one backup of everything I'm going to take out there. Um, because, well, I live out in the middle of nowhere. If something happens to my bicycle, which I used to get in town, I need to have the part to fix it so that I can get to town, order another part, and pick it up at my P.O. box. Which, again, I could get a ride with someone out there, but I can't rely on stuff like that. I'm self-reliant, so I have to be smart about how I go out there. I need to have two of literally everything. It takes a lot of planning, and I have done a lot in it. And just in case you guys are wondering, well, like, you're a tech dude, you might not like being, off grid and self reliant and everything, and not having the internet. Not having the internet is definitely going to be a freaking adjustment, 100%. Because I guarantee you, the first week that I'm out there, after I finish my house and it's just me living out there, um, yeah, it's gonna be weird because I know for a fact I'm gonna try loading up stuff like Discord and then realizing, oh yeah, you can't use Discord when you have no internet. Uh, it's just gonna be an adjustment, but um, I really do look forward to it, and I also look forward to your response back to this. What do you think about me going off grid? Me, I don't know, possibly becoming more and more like Luke Smith. Uh, Look, I'm not trying to be like Luke Smith one bit, but I'm not. It's not like I don't see the similarities. Uh, but yeah, I very much look forward to being more self-reliant, and being able to not have to stress about money and all of that stuff. Really, I mean, if I'm being completely honest, really what it is throughout at least my life, most of my, most, if not close to all of my real struggles, real stressors, real things that cause me real anxiety have to do with money, either not knowing how to save money as well as I'd like to, or it's not really that I don't know how to, it's more that I don't do as good of a job as I should, um, or I don't know, like even when you have, like, to me the dumbest thing is even when you have a job and you're making good money and you're saving and you're doing ahead, you're constantly worrying because, well, at any point you could slip up. uh, we're all human, we make mistakes. You could make a mistake and lose the thing that keeps you, well, good and able to pay your bills and, be a happy individual. And I would much rather be somewhere where that's not really a worry. Because I mean, I was still be like my highlight of the week will be going into town so that I can interact with people uh, through YouTube, Discord, and everything. Upload my videos, check on the channel, and talk with you guys. Um, and to be honest, what I'm already making on Patreon would pretty much support me out where I want to go. Um, because my monthly expenses really are really low. Like, I might go into town and spend, you know, $3 on a coffee and then pick up some stuff like maybe a package of cheese, like, and I don't know, other stuff that I can't just grab. Um, like coconut, like I'm trying to think, like coconut oil or something like that. I have no idea. Like the small bits and bobs, um, pepper and salt and stuff like that. And also, I will, when I move out there, I will have a PO box. So just in case anyone wants to send me anything or anything like that, I'll still have somewhere where you can give things or get things delivered, or um, I can still, get bills and stuff like that. Because just in case you're not familiar, when it comes to buying land out in the desert, getting a residential address is pretty much like, it might as well be impossible. You might as well, like, I mean, you're gonna need a pile of money to make that happen. Or if it's not a pile of money, it's still going to cost like a couple $100 just to get yourself a street address, when for like $5 a month, you can have a PO box. And that one I think is an essential. Like that's even more essential than internet. Having somewhere to receive stuff is pretty damn important. But yeah, so that's been me talking about what I want to do, where I plan to be in 3 to 5 years. That's where I'd like to be. I'd like to be self-reliant and off on my own little slice of heaven. Also, another thing, just in case you're wondering about getting yourself some of your own property, check New Mexico. Okay, you can get a piece of land with like almost or no building codes or building permits required. 1 bit. You can buy land for cheap as fuck. You can buy it for like $1,500 and get yourself an acre of land. And on top of it, the taxes on an acre of land in New Mexico is like fucking $5 a year. That is lit. Like I'll take that. But yeah, so that's been me talking about it. Let me know your opinion on it down below. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button. If you didn't, hit the like or hit. I mean, you could hit the like button just to spite me. Or so I have no idea. If you disliked it, hit the dislike button. That's why it's there. And but I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this: YouTube doesn't care whether you like it or dislike it. Okay, just in case you haven't heard this yet, they don't care. You hitting the dislike it button actually does me more benefit than you not doing anything. So if you really dislike the video and you don't like me, you could just click off onto another video, and that would actually be more of a screw you than hitting the dislike button. Again, you might not like me, but there you go. I'll still tell you how to spite me better. And the sub button is down below. And also come over to the Discord if you use Discord and are okay with it. I'm not gonna force you into using Discord, but hey, if you already use Discord or you're okay with it, pop on over. We got a great community. We like talking. We're all nice, and we have a good time. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.